Okay, this is question number 7 from the Chapter 2 packet that I handed out. I'm just going to be going over the word problems, question number 7 and 8. So, reading this, a student must have an average grade of 70 or greater on 5 tests in a course to get a grade of at least C. We already have 4 of the student's grades. What's the possible score on the 5th test that would result in a grade of C for the student? So here we've got to kind of recall what an average is. And if I have 5 grades, that average is the sum, or adding up the 5 grades divided by 5. So far I have the 4 grades, and I don't know the 5th grade. So they want a grade of 70 or better. So basically this average needs to be greater than or equal to a 70. So let's calculate the average and we'll put it all together. So far we have a 64, a 58, an 83, and a 68. So far this student has, let me just add this up. $273 points. So the sum of the 5 grades equals the sum of the first 4 plus the last grade. So the average that this person is going to have is 273 plus the 5th grade, which we're going to call X. Well, let's identify that. The score on the 5th test is an X, and we're going to divide that by 5. That number, whatever that is, needs to be greater than or equal to 70. So what we're doing here is we're solving for X such that this equation is true. Of course, we'll have a minimum grade that the student needs. If they get anything bigger than that, then their value will be larger than 70. In order to solve this, let's multiply both sides by 5. So 273, these of course cancel. 273 plus X has to be greater than or equal to 350. So this student actually needs 350 total points in order for their average to be greater than 70. Solving 273 minus 273. So we have X, no need to turn this around, we're just subtracting. X equals, here's me trying to do math in my head. He needs to get a grade of at least 77. So the student, whoops, sorry, wasn't watching myself, must score at least 77 points. That's how you do question number 7. Now let's move on to question number 8. A product will break even or produce a profit only if the revenue from selling the product is at least the cost of the dollars producing it. So we have revenue and cost. So your money coming in has to be greater, at least, greater than or equal to the cost. If your cost is more expensive than your revenue, then you're not going to be making money. You're actually going to be losing money. So this is the basic relationship from that first sentence. It is at least the cost. So suppose that the cost to produce X unit of switches is C equals 20X plus 3,000, while the revenue is R equals 40X. What's going on here is they get $40 for each unit, and the cost of producing these units is $20 each, plus, let's say, an initial flat dollar of 3,000. That's what's going on there. So we just pretty much plug in those equations or those relationships between X, that's the number of units, and R and C. What's the value, for what values of X, so we have to find X, is R at least equal to C. R is at least equal to C. So we pretty much solved this. That's it. Divide by 20 on each side. And we end up with X is greater than or equal to 150 units. So, since it's a word problem, let's answer the question. At least 150 units must be produced. And that's how you walk yourself through question number 8.